grabbed the clips. It'll be a lot cleaner now. A lot cleaner.
All right, great. Well, now everyone on our live show knows.
You don't want borders in the short form. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, now everyone here knows that we use AI to create our clips. But I think everyone does that now these days. However, is this live? It looks like it could be live, but I don't see.
Is that supposed to be like a secret that you use AI or what?
Right. I mean, I'm monitoring this, and it doesn't look like this. I don't know why. I see the anyway.
Somebody just commented on YouTube.
Aha! Here we go. So we are there, and you know what? We are side by side on YouTube, and not on top and bottom. That's
hey, sports fans!
Hey, sports fans! Coach Nick here, and welcome to the NBA live show coming at you on playback this time. And boy, was this interesting! But anyway, I'm always joined by Combo. He's here. We don't have a ton of time now after that, but we're here. We're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to see if we can't wrestle this new platform into submission. But Combo, how are you doing?
All is well. Just happy to be here on the B-Ball Breakdown live show. We've been doing this for years, Coach Nick. We're the best duo in the business.
We are. And we deserve more credit for that. And we got to talk about some stuff. So talking about, let's see, I know we're going to talk a little about Steph Curry and his the fouls he's now getting all of a sudden. I saw some weird stat where he shot like 16 free throws so far in the preseason, and he hadn't shot 16 free throws in 20 games last year, something like that.
Will they accuse him of foul baiting like SGA, who actually he does foul bait? He does. SGA
yeah,
does.
Well, I think that a lot of the things that when Curry flails on his threes are because he's worried about landing on someone's foot, which is a legitimate.
You know what's interesting about that? Garrison Matthews of the New York Knicks. I don't know if he's going to make the team. He jumps really far ahead, and he gets the call. You know, when he lands on somebody.
Let me find. I have a couple clips I'm going to show, but let's talk a little bit about Cooper Flagg. You want to talk about him first?
Yeah, I mean, he's everything we thought he'd be. I think at sometimes the efficiency is a little bit down right now, right? But he is the player we all thought he would be.
Absolutely. I mean, like Larry Bird.
Well, he doesn't score it or shoot it like Larry Bird, but yeah, he's a better defender than Larry Bird.
Okay. I mean, you know, scoring wise, right? Because Bird would end up, was one of the elite scorers in the league for when he was healthy. What do you think his ceiling is then for points per game?
Well, I think his ceiling is Kevin Garnett more than Larry Bird.
Kevin Garnett, that's interesting. I mean, he doesn't. Let's see. What about that reminds you of Kevin Garnett?
The feel on both sides of the floor, how he's a total game changer on the defensive end, and then he's a connective piece that could also score on the offensive end. We've seen him be a go-to guy with the Timberwolves, which I think Cooper Flagg can be, and then we saw him be that elite glue guy with the Celtics, even though I felt like he was their best player alongside Paul Pierce.
Oh, yeah, he was for sure. Now, the question, though, is...
do you like that comp? I want to hear that. Do you like that comp?
Well, kind of. I got to go back and watch KG to see if he passed that well.
Oh, he passed. Yeah, he could pass. I don't know if he passed. I mean, it's the evolution of the game, right? Like, some of these guys are like, we didn't see a lot of passers like Jokic and Luka back then. I guess Jason Kidd, Magic Johnson.
They had passers back then, but
who was a crazy passer, Coach? Not to cut you off, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, Penny Hardaway was great, and unfortunately, he got hurt.
Yeah.
Now, let me know if you guys are out there on YouTube with some comments. Give me some comment. I see like one, but I want to make sure this is all working right and synchronizing. Because then the other question is, can I put this on stage like we used to do? Because if I can't do that, how does that work? I don't know if I can. What does that do? Oh, well, that's interesting. Now do you see us side by side?
Mm-hmm.
How did I do that? I don't even know. I see, because I put that there it is. Can you see the Gerweek is saying Russ to the Kings, which we need to talk about, right?
And Sam is saying Karolinko as Cooper Flagg's comp.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not, Karolinko. I can see movement pattern wise why there's something similar there for sure, athletically in the way they move. I just think that Cooper Flagg's feel is like in that Larry Bird mode. The passing he can make is just it's not going to be like as flashy as someone like Lonzo Ball, which I want to show a couple clips of. But there's just like he can make the right pass. He sees the floor really well. And I think the coolest thing about what I'm noticing is that, Jason Kidd can easily put on lineups where he's going to be a guard and they have to guard him with a guard. And that height advantage he has allows him to see the floor so much better anyway. And that's what's exciting to me as well. It's going to be really hard for anyone to guard.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think the passing is looking better because of the spacing in the NBA and the better players he's playing with too, at this level. So yeah, that's really going to pop at this level.
Right. I'm just curious now to see when I'm monitoring the YouTube show, how it looks like when you put the comment on the screen. I guess it's gonna be on top. Anyway, I'm waiting for that. It's a little bit behind. Okay, so the other question then is super chats. How do those come in, and how do I know that they're super chats? Anyway, I'll figure that out, I suppose. Should we try? Can I show you some Lonzo Ball footage, because you might not have seen some of the amazing passes he's already making in the preseason?
Yeah, can you put it on the screen?
Well, I have it here, and how do I do this? They told me I could share my screen, and I already did share my. What if I press this button, screen share, and I do this? This is exciting. This might work. Okay, what happened?
Nothing.
You don't see anything?
Just you.
Oh, I know. Let's see here. Oh, I see. Media only. How about that?
I'm seeing something now. It's a blank screen. Will it populate?
I don't
the
know.
Transition.
It says
I don't know about this transition.
Wow, that's really interesting. If I hit play, maybe I'll do it. Nope. Okay. Great. What if I do this? Nope. Stage and media. Media only. Alrighty. Well, that was a dud, unfortunately. What else would I have to do? Anyway. All right, well, let's go back to that. Anyway. All right, well, the kinks are getting worked out here early preseason. Just like we see some teams struggling to get their offense working, we are struggling a little bit. Anyway, what we would see is that's interesting. What we would see was Lonzo Ball throwing an underhand pass to a guy from the top of the key to the left corner.
Oh, somebody's asking you about Kuminga recently. Has he been playing well?
No, I mean, I think he's the same, right? A couple of post ups here and there. Nothing that indicates to me that he's really kind of like going to be a great fit in all of this, right?
Oh, I see a super chat. Super chat's working.
All right, you see a super chat? Then how do I get it on the screen? Let's see here. What if I do that? Aha.
Yeah,
okay.
good.
Alan, thanks so much, Alan. I'm kind of curious what it looks like.
Wow, look at this. It goes across this. This is pro, Coach Nick. Look at that.
All right, but now I got to wait. Okay, here we go. Ready? Coop's counting stats won't be as sexy as VJ's or Ace's. They'll get more touches and shots, but I think the advanced stats will favor Coop for Rookie of the Year. I agree. I feel like the other guys are going to get a lot more opportunities, and they'll probably end up maybe being more robust in the points per game, but I don't think they'll be probably as efficient, and that's a good point. So, and Alan, awesome, great, always great to see you, even on this new platform as we're making this all work, but at least that works nicely. But yeah, I think that certainly that's going to be a question. Will Coops, he'll be doing things on a better team, right? And that might weigh on for people, and they might give that a higher weight. But I agree. I bet you one of the two. We'll see about VJ. Incredible athlete, right? VJ Edgecombe. I mean, unbelievable what he can do. But I definitely feel like he'll end up being more like a typical rookie in efficiency. Probably Ace Bailey too, and that's going to be big. So did we get to the ceiling? What do you think Cooper's going to average this year in points?
I think he averages at least 15.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like 18. So he might average 18, but shoot a higher percentage than Ace, who might get to like 22 or 23.
Do you think that it's more important for them to develop Cooper, or more important for them to be win now mode, even though they're going to try and balance the two?
I mean, obviously the balance is really important. And so I don't know if they have to really look at it that way. I think they can get both, is what my answer would be. And I think that it would probably be worth developing Cooper.
There's a gift and a curse. Like the Warriors actually won a championship doing both, but then the Jonathan Kuminga thing kind of backfired on them at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, and that could also just be because they picked him. It could have been another different player that fit better. They could have developed. I mean, Franz Wagner could have developed right in a different way. But that said, maybe Franz doesn't become Franz if he's on the Warriors, right? Even though he fits in so well and would really have been a great boost for them. It's an interesting question on that end. But anyway, so we'll have to see it. But I do feel like, like, do the Mavericks really have a chance to beat like the Thunder in a playoff series? Like, maybe,
No.
but probably not. So in that kind of sense, in the bigger picture, it's like, okay, develop Cooper, make sure you're getting enough touches for him. And it will.
If Cooper could get to like top 10 this season, they have a chance. But I don't know.
Yeah, if he can get better than Cade Cunningham.
Nah, that's not happening this year.
Right, but he might be eventually. I would say he could be better than him. But
I think his ceiling. I think his ceiling is like him and Wemby's ceiling might be higher than Cade's. Yes.
Right. Well, let's talk about Russ for a second because he just signed, and I gotta tell you, I'm like 85% done with the video. It's going to get done today. Why he hadn't been signed, and I think I have to throw the whole thing out now. It's really horrible. But the Kings signed him. The news broke, and it just reminded me because I was going through his footage to explain why he wasn't signed. And part of the problem is that when you're looking at his finishing at the rim, what's the stat? He was ranked. At the rim, minimum 250 shots. He ranked 45th out of 49 players who had taken at least 250 shots at the rim. Now, this made me think of you, Combo, because you know who was 49th, right?
Are we going to get back to this today?
Yes. Cade Cunningham was 49th out of 49.
Okay, we're not recreating the conversation. They could go back to, what was it, 2 live shows ago if you want to hear this conversation that's about to happen, but I won't let happen.
Right, we don't have time. Because anyway, so Russ doesn't shoot really well at the rim. And then his shots in the paint, not at the rim, of the players who took, there was 103 players who took at least 150 shots that were in the paint but not at the rim. And he ranked 101st out of 103. And he took the third most in terms of percentage of time of those kind of shots. So he takes a lot of shots that he can't finish. Out of 129 players overall that had used at least 800 possessions total, Russ ranked 127th out of 129th in efficiency with the third highest turnover percentage. So it's a mess on offense with Russ, in terms of what he's trying to do out there. Now, if he was playing for a different team and not one that's trying to vie for a championship, and also a team that has the best player in the world, then, okay, there might be a little leeway there, but not someone like that.
Yeah.
Now, the worst part about this was that he had a player option. So he could have been suiting up and getting ready for the start of the Denver Nuggets season at $3.1 million.
What did he sign for?
I don't know. I don't know if they revealed those terms. Let's look.
It'd be interesting if it
Someone
was
in the
around the
comments
same, right? He would rather be on the Nuggets than the team he's on now with the Kings, right?
Great question. Let's see here.
So basically he bet on himself, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I think it also tells you is that how unwelcome he was in Denver, and that he was like willing to do this and drag it out this far.
Well, he played the whole year in the playoffs. Was he that unwanted? They gave him playing time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the argument was, or can be made that like they fired Malone over it because Malone was actually playing him too many minutes because the rest of the team was really upset about, it's just wild when he's out there. You don't know what's going to happen. Now, I use the comparison of CP3 in the video, which I guess will never air. CP3 is equally long in the tooth, diminished even more athletically than Russ is. Why is he now? I mean, okay, Russ is not on a team, but as of a minute ago, he wasn't playing, and Chris Paul was. It's because Chris Paul plays within himself, and he's a good three-point shooter, right? That's another big issue that Russ is just not a good three-point shooter. But Chris Paul will not try and do too much. He's not going to throw crazy passes. He'll make the right decisions. He'll play, defensively. He'll just play the position and not get out of position. That's what you need from a guy at that age, at that level. It's kind of staggering that Russ has never been able to develop that kind of self-awareness of how to play better or less. And the worst part was they bury him in the corner and his man would just ignore him and then get in the way of everybody else. And so now the offense completely just dies. There's no movement because there's guys getting in the way of all the cutting. But then they throw it to him and he would now try to overcome that or overcompensate by crazy stuff, galloping, dribble, multi, whatever, and then lose the ball, throw the ball away, or just be inefficient. Now, that said, he shot the highest 2-point percentage of his career. Did you know that?
That's great for him.
Do you know why he did last year?
Because he shot more threes?
No, 2-point percentage. Highest.
No, I understand. Maybe the volume was down. That's what I'm saying.
Right. No, it's not really that. In my mind, it's because he was playing with Jokic and there were cuts and he was getting these great passes.
Yeah, I remember the beginning of the season, they had some good synergy.
Yeah, there was hope. I thought maybe there was a thing, and I thought I even did a video on that, but I can't find it now. It's weird. I swear I did a video where like, oh look, he's cutting and they're hitting him, and it's like this is his niche, but it didn't last, and they couldn't recreate that. And here's the worst part about it all: he had 2 broken bones in his hand. Did you see that reporting over the summer?
No.
So he hid the fact that he had broken 2 bones. Now I got to imagine if the Denver Nuggets medical staff knew this, then they would certainly not let him play, right? You can't let a guy play if he's got 1 or 2 broken bones in your hand. So he hid it, I guess, because he didn't want to miss any games. Is that fair? Is that why you would do that?
Maybe.
He wanted to tough it out. But you could see so many of these turnovers were definitely related to something. And I can find the text. I was asking people privately if they had heard anything about him breaking a hand or hurting a hand, because it looked that way. He did not have control of the ball like a professional would. And that makes all the sense in the world. But then think about that. He's making the team worse by playing worse because he's got broken bones in his hands that he won't admit and he won't tell anybody. That's not great. That's something that a team would be scared about having him on a team with, right? They wouldn't want to sign him. Now, did you see the picture of his hand at the ESPYs?
No.
That's how they found out that he had broken his hand. I think they had asked him about it, and he finally said his hand looked mangled and swollen to like. I guess it was.
He's like the opposite of LeBron. LeBron wants to show you he's hurt, like after a loss. And
whoa. Okay, you want to do that now? Okay, we can do that.
I'm just saying, like, remember that time he lost? I think it was in the playoffs. That all of a sudden, he had like a cast on or something. What do you have on?
Yeah. And then I did the video where I showed him high-fiving dudes with the hand like really hard and no response to that. Like he wasn't reacting like it hurt. So
it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, Coach Nick.
No, I mean, not if it's going to cause you to look bad on the court. You got it. But, I mean, we're not talking about a sprained finger that he taped up or whatever. We're talking about broken bones in your hand that you can't grip the ball on a shooting hand combo.
By the way, Josh Hart got something going on with his finger. It's like mangled. I think we talked about that last episode.
Okay. And by the way, finger, okay, yeah, again, tape it up or whatever. But if it looked like it was in his hand, because when you looked at like this part, I'd never seen a hand look like that. The way it was malformed and swollen was gross. So you can imagine. And I wonder if it was like, I got to try and see if we can look at the footage and find that it looked like that during the games, or was it just what happened after the surgery? But now you got a team like they have to wonder, did the surgery work? Is it successful? Do we want to pay someone who might be hurt and not be able to play? So all these things are really, really important. Let's get to another super chat we have from Ben. Great to see you, Ben. Thank you so much. As always, great to see you. What do you guys think foul disparity in the game with LA and Golden State Warriors? Will this be a precursor for the Warriors again of fouling too much? I mean, there's always an interesting thing. I got to look at the numbers. What, I guess, is he saying that LA got fouled more because LA always gets the fouls? I mean, that kind of tamped down a little bit last year. But I do know that I actually did some really cool stuff. I went to New York and sat down with some NBA referees to talk about some clips. And
you got on the court with Combo.
And got on the court with Combo. And I know that they've been looking at a lot of different things. So I'm having a feeling that this year is going to be they're going to turn the corner on some stuff with the way they're calling the game. And I think we're going to be happier about it. I think they're going to figure some things out. And because believe me, they're addressing these things and they hear the comments from people out there. They see it and they know when people are getting really upset about different calls. And then they're looking at it to figure out how they can, educate the public, A, and then B, figure out what they can do to kind of make this work better. So, I don't know if it's going to be a precursor. Well, again, now I got to figure out then if he means the Warriors fouling too much, because I don't remember the Warriors having a foul problem. Did they? Or does he mean the Lakers getting calls, which again kind of tamped down? So let me know, Ben, a little bit more in a regular comment, and we'll kind of do that. But how are you on time, Combo? The time?
No, we're good for now. I think we got, let's say 15 minutes. How about that?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the advantage to OKC might not be I know like some of the things like they're looking at like they are looking at the way SGA was playing, to figure out, can we make this balance more fair everywhere else? But still get,
so do you think
is awesome?
Do you think his PPG goes down?
SGA, I think he's so good. I don't think it does, honestly. And by the way, if all of a sudden SGA stopped getting calls like the normal ones he's used to, I have no doubt he will adjust, and he'll.
Yeah.
He is sickening with his head.
That's all great players.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're just better than everybody, you're going to find a way to adjust if they chase something on you.
Right. And that's the thing about SGA, which is frustrating, is that, it's not like, to me, if you were a foul merchant and like that's the main way you're scoring and like the majority of your points are that, okay. But it doesn't happen that often when you see one where everyone gets upset. And then he just embarrasses guys with his skill so much of the time anyway. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's like this guy is as skilled as we've seen anybody play the game of basketball ever, right? He's going to have to go down as one of the best scorers of all time. And that's part of the reason why they have to foul him, is because he's too slippery. He's too hard to guard. And you end up getting in weird positions because he's so jittery and he can move so quickly with that and wiry and strong that you end up fouling him. That's what happens because he's good. Now, but again, some of the stuff like perhaps with like the forearm stuff that everyone seems to be upset about, and then like the quick pulls into shots, who knows how they're going to do that? But clearly, I bet you they are looking at that and going to figure out what they can do to balance it out if they need to at all. I've been in arguments like, if I'm driving and I pull off of the left foot instead of the right foot, and you thought I was going to go, right, left or something, that's skill. That's not, and a lot of times he makes those shots. So it's not like you can't argue that they're not legitimate shots when he makes them, right?
Mm-hmm. Who was more skilled, him or Steve Nash?
Oh,
because I think you have to put passing into it.
Right. We have to decide if you want to do just like only scoring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think Jokic is more skilled than SGA because he's a better passer, he's a better rebounder, he's a better scorer at all three levels. Even
is he?
Yeah, I mean, he's not a better ISO like dribble the ball, but he could score at all three levels whenever he wants, very efficiently.
Right. I mean,
and the 3-point shooting got better. He shot over 40 this past year, right, Jokic?
From the three?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, no. Remember, the threes he takes generally are like wide open and stuff, and off of pops, whereas the kind of shots SGA gets sometimes are harder.
Yeah, they're just very different players.
They are very different, that's for sure. But I would have to say I would probably pick. I mean, listen, SGA averaged 32 a game. It's like or whatever he averaged. He's legit and as good as we and the shiftiness is as good as we've seen. So as far as scoring goes, he's one of the great scorers of all time. If you want to factor in passing, he doesn't really do that a lot, but he can, and he can make the right pass and more that sort of Michael Jordan mode, I would say. Although, Michael would have moments where he's like, F it, I'm just going to pass the ball and throw Magic Johnson passes. But for the most part, he's in that same mode. So, you got to, he's in that thing. Like, it's hard to believe you'd say like he's like Michael Jordan, but scoring wise, he's in that conversation. I think you got to put him in the conversation.
In the Michael Jordan conversation?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'd like to see him post up a little bit more.
He's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good post turn fade. He's actually pretty good at that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You are. He is good at that. Yeah. It's not as much as like go down the low block, grab the ball, scan the floor.
Who does that anymore? Who does that anymore?
You might see Jimmy do that a little bit out of the Warriors offense. Because they'll throw it to him down there, and they're going to do their low post split.
Yeah, they don't
open.
Yeah, I mean that used to be sometimes the first look, just bring it down, like entry pass. Like there's hardly any entry passes anymore. Just more flow to the game.
Yeah, right. Well, we found that it was easier to dribble the ball than the wing. You're kind of pushing the pace, whatever. And back in the day, they denied that pass too. Like I know at lower levels for sure. Like you try and make a guard forward pass, and they get denied, and then you sit there stuck in place waiting for the guy to V cut or whatever to get open. Remember those days? No?
Explain it again.
No, you're on the wing and the guy's denying you the pass, and you had to like V cut to try and get open.
You mean the guy you mean the guy? Oh, yeah, 100%. They still play denial though sometimes.
You don't see it in the NBA, but you'll see it at the college level too, right? But not even as much. And part of the reason is because they're like, why are we waiting to make a pass? We'll just dribble over there, right? And then the guy in the wing will bump down in the corner, and we'll be able to start our offense. It's much easier, quicker, faster, and you don't have to deal with that. And now you can attack from the wing like everybody wants to anyway. So it's interesting.
Well, I mean, they deny Steph Curry in playoff situations for sure.
They'll deny him like under the basket on those pin downs and stuff like that. But right, but
they have guys like there's some guys that like try and chase him crazy.
Yeah, and they chase him from the backcourt even for sure. Yeah, and that's rare too. That he's one of the only ones because he's a shooter like that. Where and it's again, you're willing to put yourself out of position.
What's Luka high scoring game? They were definitely denying him that game when he had 71, right, or 73.
Yeah,
yeah,
he was still scoring.
Yeah, they were denying him for sure.
Right. Yeah, and you'll see that, or you'll see them run at the thing we didn't used to see way back in the day was just running at a guy to double team him.
Well, I think there's less denial because there's just less people trying to get open on the wing. It's more flow. Like it's more like if you don't get the ball right away, move out of there. I think that's more modern offense.
Yeah. I mean, also against pros who can know how to backdoor, and then the pros who can make that backdoor pass. Yeah. It's like it's tough to try and do that and deny, and it's also a lot of energy that a lot of times people aren't expected to expend at that level.
Well, if you got like a guy like Wemby, I mean, what does going backdoor mean? Even right? Like you think about if you think about the highest levels of defense too.
By the way, have you seen Wemby this year? Have you seen what he's been doing?
Yeah, he's bullying people.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition if he's going to be able to put that shoulder down a little bit. And it's not extending the arm. He's not committing offensive fouls. It's balanced. I'm telling you, this guy's going to go down as the all-time GOAT for sure. Imagine if he starts doing what Shaq used to do. I mean, like all-time, like if he could do it every single time down. He would average 40 points a game.
The all-time GOAT already.
I mean, I can see. Can't you imagine? Like when you saw that Wemby where he goes to his left and the right shoulder into the guy who he ends up under the basket and just dunks it. Like, now that guy, I forgot who it was, but it wasn't like a regular.
I think to be perceived GOAT, you need to have a little bit of luck too, like getting the right teammates, getting enough championships, because people put so much stock into winning championships when we're talking about the greatest of all time.
You're right. Yeah, when you split hairs at that point, you're right. It'll have to be. And I have to imagine the way that the Spurs are putting their team together now that, but sometimes guys just transcend it. Like he might be like the Wilt guy who it's like, by the way, but you're right. Wilt doesn't get that GOAT.
Wilt has one.
Right. And that's probably why, right? That, he's kind of forgotten in a very sad way because he was as dominant as anybody could ever have been.
Well, that's a clip.
Right.
Can we grab that right away? Is the robots working for us?
There's a way to do that on this thing, but I don't know.
Do it.
You have to tell me. I can rewind. Somebody showed me that and I forgot. So we'll figure that out at some point and get it out there. But
Wemby is the GOAT. That's it. That's a good clip.
Yeah. So anyhow, let me see how this works. So even though I'm above you, we're side by side in the on the stream. Interesting. Okay. Any other super
We've
chats?
been going 47 minutes already? No way. I guess that was like when we were toggling
around. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, don't worry, sports fans. We'll figure this whole thing out. We'll get back on Twitter at some point soon. I gotta reconnect.
Now this is better. I think this is better overall.
Okay. If you think so. Yeah, we'll see. I just want to get some of these the kinks ironed out. And let's see here. Someone's upset with what I'm saying, but I don't know about what. You can't call me. You can't say I'm talking BS and not say what it is that I'm saying BS about in the comments.
I saw that was pretty funny.
But anyway, and by the way, the thing about Wemby is not only will he end up scoring 40 a game. I mean, I think he could. He'll be the best defender in the league for as long as he wants to be. So how else can you not? I mean, I'll put it right here. He'll be the greatest of all time.
Okay.
And part of it will be because he's 7'6" and growing. Boban was saying he was looking up at him at 7'4". So there you go. That's insane. But by the way, Lonzo Ball, what can we do? Is there anything is there some sort of incense we can burn to make sure he stays healthy?
He's a great player. He passes the ball really well. The shooting has got better over the years, and he's a guy that could fit with any NBA team because of his skill set. Yeah,
and you might not remember, but at one point I got roasted for a tweet I'd written when he was with the Lakers where I said, even though he's out of the game, you can still see his influence. And I specifically was saying on those long up-court passes. And, he does those, and then it was kind of infectious, and everybody on the Lakers team was starting to do them, right? And that's
it happened with the Bulls. They actually had a time where they were winning a lot of games.
Yeah, and then I think Caruso was also on that team, if I'm not mistaken. He was it was a competition who could throw better like long down-court passes. And you're also seeing it now on the Cleveland where everyone's cutting even more. Now, Cleveland had good movement last year under Kenny Atkinson, And by the way, shout out to Alex Sarama, who was their player development coach, who was instrumental in turning this whole thing around. Remember, they went from a very middling average team without really changing the roster to elite Eastern Conference, and only because of an injury did they probably, I don't know, would they have beaten the Knicks? I don't know. I think they had a shot, and it was really too bad they had a couple of guys banged up. They would have gotten farther. But so Alex just got hired to be the Portland Fire WNBA head coach, which is a meteoric rise from where he started in a very short time, which is a CLA, shows you how powerful CLA is, a constraint-led approach, which is something I've been doing for a long time without even knowing what it was called. Anyway, what were we talking about? Cleveland? We're talking about Lonzo. So Lonzo's influence, you can see like the passing is moving a lot more now. You know, when you get a guy like that, you want to cut more because you know he's going to hit you. And then they just start passing as well. It's really, really exciting to see.
Yeah, a lot of players should watch Lonzo because sometimes when they grab a rebound or get the ball from the inbounds, they don't look up. And that sometimes should be your first option. You know, just look up. You might have somebody ahead for an easy layup instead of even getting into half-court offense.
Or how about if you're inbounding the ball, then looking up? Like that's what he'll do too. He'll kind of grab it, get out of bounds, and throw it.
Yeah, Jokic does a lot of that too, right? Like he just grabs it.
Who does?
Jokic.
Jokic does that. I think Luka sometimes will do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to look up. First thing should be look up whenever you get the ball on the defensive side of the floor when there's either a rebound or a steal or even when you're inbounded. Look up the court. Look up the court.
Right. Absolutely. Oh, here's a question. Will we be calling games on Playbook? Yeah, for sure. We're gonna start doing. I don't know if Combo's gonna stay up with us or not for some of these games, but we'll do some live watch games, live watch parties on Playback for sure. That would be really fun to do. I always like to do them. It's just sometimes hard because it's a lot of. We were doing live shows into the Playback. So we'll see if we can't kind of figure all that out and pick maybe an early game for you, and we'll do some of those. And so, yeah, definitely stay tuned. We had such a great time doing our post-game shows during the playoffs. I want to try and do some of those as well. So, yeah, a lot more content coming out from B-Ball Breakdown this season. So don't miss it. Get your notifications on for sure. And also go over to Playback and sign up. We could probably do some shows where I can bring you guys on if you want to ask a question via video, I think.
Right.
So, well, listen, Combo, I think we're probably at that time.
We are, but we'll get a longer one in next week.
Okay.
Maybe Monday. Yeah.
And if anything else crazy happens, maybe we'll have to sneak in an emergency one. But other than that, we're always on call, ready to go. But thanks, Combo, for being here. Thanks all for being with us on this new platform for Playback. And we'll be back again at the very least probably Monday, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, Combo, so much. Thanks, you guys who are out there for the super chats and all the other comments and being part of the show. And don't forget, sports fans, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel. We're a conversation. You in? Are you in, Combo?